Hi guys, I'm going to need your help for this one because it's going to be an interactive talk. Please scan the code and we'll get started. Ready? All right. Not yet? Okay. So, raise your hand if you love playing video games. Okay, now raise your hand if you love school as much as you love playing video games. Not so many hands, huh? Well, let's vote on this. If school worked like a video game, what would make it more fun? Is it A, choosing your quest? Is it B, skill points and rewards? Or C, unlocking secret levels? Or D, perhaps rare collectibles? Or E, competition and leaderboards? Yeah, this is live. Very interesting, right? Now, what if schools were designed like the best video games, where you play to learn, you can fail safely, and level up at your own pace? Can you imagine school as a quest field where every new learning subject feels like unlocking a new power-up? I spent half of my life making video games, worked with 5 game studios, countless games on pretty much every platform that you can think of, and had way too much coffee. Today, I use what I learned to help companies make apps that are fun, rewarding, intuitive, easy to use, just like great games. However, one of the biggest lessons I learned in game development wasn't about coding or design, it was about how we learn. Let me take you behind the scenes of a challenge we faced while hiring game developers. We hired hundreds of fresh grads and taught them how to make games. In the process, we discovered that traditional hiring wasn't really working all that well for us. It took too long, great candidates were slipping away, and technical tests scared off many potential talents. We needed a better way. That's when we asked ourselves, can't we make it fun? So we gamified the hiring process. Instead of boring tests, we made hiring into a game. Can you guess how we tested for learning speed and resilience? I'll give you 3 options. Is it A, asking candidates to build Legos without instructions? Or B, inviting them to play a game with us? Is it C, listening to a made-up language and guessing its meaning? What do you guys think? Well, it's pretty much decided. Yes, it was playing games with our candidates. We chose simple strategy games like Connect 4, and we made sure that candidates had never played them before. Then we observed how fast candidates learned, adapted, and improved their strategies, and also how they handled winning and losing. Interestingly, there was a high correlation between how well they did in these games and success at work a year later. Now, what about teamwork and problem solving? What do you think we asked them to do? That's right. You guys nailed it. We asked them to get in an escape room and solve it. Let me tell you a bit about that. We basically sacrificed one of our meeting rooms. We turned it into an escape room and had candidates work together to solve puzzles to escape in less than 60 minutes. This gave us real insights into their problem-solving skills, their communication, their leadership style, it wasn't about who had the most knowledge. It was about who could learn, adapt, and collaborate the best. It also showed us how they behave under pressure. So if you want to know how someone thinks, my advice would be hand them a game controller. Games can be a window into how they think, learn, and solve problems. Games can also be great teachers. We learn even more by playing games ourselves. Every time we play, we're figuring things out. We're experimenting, failing, adapting, and improving. The best part, we don't even realize we're learning because we're having so much fun. Think about the last time you played a game. Did you have to sit through a boring 1-hour lecture about how to play the game? Probably not. You just jumped in, made some mistakes, and got better with each try. That is how we actually learn best, not just in games, but in real life. What if school made us feel the same way? To gamify learning, we need to understand that learning is itself an emotional experience. People don't learn because they're told to. They learn when they're motivated. To understand what sparks this kind of motivation, it's useful to look at Yu-Kai Chou's Octalysis framework for gamification. Because the same principles that make games addictive can help make learning more effective. One of the dimensions of this framework is intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. On the left side, we have external motivation based on goals, progression, collecting rewards. Imagine teachers releasing secret bonus lessons only after students completed certain challenges and earned some badges. On the right side, we have motivation from within, meaning from enjoying the activity. That stems from curiosity, creativity, mastery, purpose. Take this for example. Instead of tests, what if we would let students create their own educational games to teach others? Like a science class where students are hired by NASA to design a Mars habitat. Then we have white hat gamification at the top versus black hat at the bottom. White hat gamification techniques spark positive, long-term engagement. It feels good. It encourages learning and mastery. Black hat, on the other hand, is about creating urgency and pressure. Can be useful, but too much of it can kill motivation. So, how can we use gamification in schools the right way? Make learning feel like an adventure. Every lesson can be a mission, challenge, or puzzle instead of simple memorization. We can blend intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, that is to encourage curiosity and creativity while also using rewards to keep things engaging. But most of all, learning should feel meaningful, positive, and exciting. So the advice would be to focus on white hat gamification and use black hats sparingly. Most importantly, if learning feels like a game, we won't just play to win. We will play to learn. And a question that comes up a lot nowadays is, what should we learn? We have more access to knowledge than ever before. We can learn anything we want. On the other hand, some people say that by the end of 2025, AI will be handling most of the programming. So, what skills will matter then? My guess, the future won't be about memorizing facts. It will be about using what you know in creative ways. It will be about solving problems, staying curious, learning fast, and working well with others. The people who will thrive won't be the ones who know the most, but the ones who can adapt quickly, think critically, and collaborate. To put things into perspective, imagine your life as a role-playing game. You are the main character. Right now you're in the early stages, building skills, leveling up, facing challenges, every obstacle you overcome, every new thing you try, everything you learn, it all adds to your skill points. And in every great game, the hero has a defining moment where they step up and take control of their adventure. This is your defining moment. You don't need to wait for schools to change or for someone to give you a quest. You get to choose what skills to master, what quests to embark on, and what kind of hero you want to become. So let me ask you this. What's one skill you would love to level up in real life?